Daphne, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, thank you. On Gaza, Hamas has said it would not take part in a new round of Gaza ceasefire talks slated for tomorrow. Are your partners in Qatar still working to have Hamas represented? And if so, are you confident that they will end up being represented at the talks?
I will let our Qatari partners speak to their own engagements. What I can say is that we are aware of those comments, and we fully expect these talks to move forward as they should. And our point of view is that all negotiators should return to the table and bring this deal to conclusion. It is far time for the remaining hostages to be released, which of course include American citizens, and bring relief to the people of Gaza under the deal that is now on the table.
How can they move forward and make progress if Hamas is not there?
So, as I said yesterday, our Qatari partners have assured us that there will be representation from Hamas, and I will let them, of course, speak to that, but I'm not going to get into more specifics beyond that.
Okay, and what are the remaining sticking points or points on these ceasefire talks?
So, as I've said a number of times this week, I'm just not going to get into the specifics of the ongoing negotiations from a podium. It certainly wouldn't be helpful to an active and ongoing process.
Has language around a permanent or temporary ceasefire been resolved?
I'm just not going to get into the specifics of the negotiations. Jenny, go ahead.
Can I try to follow up with Daphne's question? Hamas said they'd be willing to negotiate afterwards if there's a serious response from Israel. How does the U.S. take these comments?
So, look, I spoke to this a little bit this week. When President of the United States, the President of Egypt, and the Emir of Qatar put out that statement last week, we saw very quickly that the government of Israel confirmed that their team was going to be present and will be at the ceasefire talks that are starting tomorrow, and that they are prepared to finalize the deals that are on the table. I'm not going to get into more specifics beyond that, and we'll just leave it there.
Does the U.S. consider the proposals from the Israeli government to be keeping in the spirit of what the president outlined at the end of May?
So our point of view is that the contours that the president outlined at the end of May very much continues to be what is shaping this conversation. But beyond that, I'm just not going to get into the specifics of the negotiations. Sean, go ahead.
Qatar and Egypt have announced that both foreign ministers received calls from the Secretary of State today. Do you have any readout for these calls?
We'll have some readouts to offer, I'm sure, in the next hour or so. We'll have some more to share this afternoon, but these calls are in line with the Secretary